And we're following some breaking news out of Israel. The country's parliament has just approved a key part of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's divisive plan to reshape the country's judicial system, specifically approving a provision that stops judges from striking down government decisions that they find unreasonable. Now, this vote comes as hundreds of thousands have already taken to the streets to protest this plan, arguing it will be a massive blow to democracy. NBC's Raf Sanchez is live from Jerusalem in Israel with more. Raf, what exactly does this mean, and how are people reacting to the vote?
Well, Anna, you can see behind me thousands of protesters gathered here in front of Israel's parliament. They were making a last-ditch effort to try to stop this legislation. It wasn't enough. This bill passed just over an hour ago, and there was a cry of kind of anger and despair as the news reached the crowd here that this legislation has gone through. We spoke to one woman. She had tears in her eyes, Anna. She said she didn't know what she was going to tell her children tonight about the future of Israeli democracy. But almost universally among the people we have spoken to here, they say the fight, which has gone on for 7 months now, continues. It does not end just because the first part of this legislation has gone through. Now, just to give you the government's perspective here, if Benjamin Netanyahu was here, he would tell you this legislation was necessary to curb the power of unelected Supreme Court judges who he says were standing in the way of his government carrying out the agenda that it was elected on. The vote in the end was 64-0, and that's because every single member of Netanyahu's right-wing religious government voted for the legislation, while opposition lawmakers walked out of the chamber in protest. And the opposition shouldn't be measured just in votes inside parliament, shouldn't be measured just by the people on the street here. Hundreds of Israeli companies have closed their doors today in protest at this bill, and thousands of military reservists have said they will not show up for duty because they signed up to serve the army of a democracy. So many questions, Anna, going forward as this legislation has now finally passed.